and welcome to today's video. It is beautiful and sunny outside, so I hope you've all been enjoying the lovely weather we've been having. It is finally feeling like springtime, which makes me feel really great, and it was always this time of year that I feel like I need to have like a proper spring clean. I'm quite traditional like that. I like to really reorganize my space and reorganize everything around me, and this kind of got me thinking about the idea of goals as well, and reorganizing your goals and having a spring clean on what you want to get out of the year. I was sitting down the other day and I realised that we are a quarter of the way through the year, and I personally can't believe how quickly this quarter has gone. It seems like yesterday it was January and now we are coming into April now. So we're a quarter of the way through the year, and I feel like this is a really great time to actually sit down, think about what you may or may not have achieved for the first quarter, and really set yourself up for a great next 3 quarters of the year. So I'm going to do a step-by-step guide on how you can spring clean your goals and get the most out of the rest of the year. Now, I already briefly mentioned step number 1, which is to look at what you have achieved. So it might be, for example, my goal this year was to get healthier, get in better shape. I mean, I'm naturally in quite good shape. I'm one of these lucky people, but I wanted to make sure that I stayed on track and I got even fitter, even healthier. That was kind of what I came into this year wanting to do. So when I look back at what I have achieved, I have done loads of home workouts. I have been eating healthier. Those are the things I have achieved. Now, once you've looked at what you have achieved, it's also very important to look at what you haven't achieved. And using the same example, I had a gym membership, which I've just cancelled because I never went to the gym. I'm not very good at going to the gym. So that's something that I haven't achieved, is going to the gym. But that's fine, that doesn't suit me. Kind of going forward now, I know that for me, home workouts, being more active in general, and eating healthier are the ways forward for me. So it's really good to look at what has worked well, what hasn't worked so well, what you have achieved, what you haven't achieved, because then you know where you stand and you can actually plan the rest of your year much better. I think now that we're coming into the 4th month, which is just bizarre, now we're coming to the 4th month, you have a much better understanding of where you are now if you look backwards at what you've done. And I think it's a very important step. I think if you miss out that bit, then you're not quite sure of where you stand. And we're quite firmly and comfortably into the year now, so it's a nice place to really sit back and think, what do I really want to get out of this year? And by doing God, I'm losing all my words today. By looking backwards, you can really see where you want to go going forward. So when it comes to going forward, it's really actually important to create a date as to when you're going to get started. For some people, you might say, do you know what? 1st of April, that's when I'm going to get going with this. You may say this afternoon, you may say tomorrow morning, but it's really good to get a date in mind in your head of when you are going to start going after what you want. And it's always good to write this down. So if you've got like a calendar or a diary, write it in, schedule it in, say this is when I'm going to start doing this, because once you have that in your mind, your mindset will be in the right place. You'll say, right, this is the start, this is what I'm going to do. So it's really good to pick a date and stick to it. So once you have created your date, now it is time to also write down your goal. This has to be somewhere you're going to see it. It has to be visual, it has to be fun. For me, I've got a diary and I write my goal for the year on the first page of my diary, so it's there and I can see it. For some people, you might write it on a mirror with like a whiteboard marker. You might it on your hand, you might write it anywhere you feel is really good. You might create a mood board or a dream board. I can't remember exactly what they're called. A vision board, that's what they're called. You might create a vision board, and that will help you to focus on what you really want to achieve. So the most important thing is to make it visual and write it down as well, so you can see it and it's on your mind and you are focused on it. Just another thing to mention as well, when you are writing down your goal, you can go into as much detail as you want to. There are some people that like to kind of go into really big detail about what their goal is, what their challenges are, what may hold them back, how they're going to overcome these obstacles. There's so many different things you can do and write about. If you really want to go into detail, of course you can do that, or you might find it's easy and simple and better for you just to literally write down the goal and that's it. So you can go into as much or as little detail as you want to. I'm one of these people where I love stationery, I love writing. I'll go into like the most detail possible. I'll write like an essay on everything. So do whatever fits around you and your lifestyle. If you feel like you're not going to look back on that and read all those things, then it, you know, for you it might be quite pointless. For other people it might be really useful, but the most important, I always say the most important thing, I've just realised I keep saying this, it's very important for you to do what works for you, because you're going to get the most out of it. So if you want to write down all the bits and pieces that may hold you back, how you're going to overcome them, then do that. Or if you feel like it's better for you just to write down the goal and leave it as that, then do that. It's completely up to you. Now we are going to back up this visualization by giving yourself suggestions. As a hypnotherapist, I'm very used to giving suggestions, so to me they are kind of second nature, I guess. And every morning I start off by saying to myself what I want to achieve today, the kind of mood I want to be in, you know. For example, today I'm going to be productive, I'm going to be motivated, I'm going to prove to myself more than anyone else that I can achieve my goals, things like that. They kind of really set you up for the day. So whatever your goal is, tailor make it to what you want to achieve, and it's always very important to say what you want as opposed to what you don't want. So always look at the positive side of it. Repetition is key as well. So you can say these things to yourself in the mirror. You can say them to yourself while you're getting dressed. You can say them to yourself while you're still laying in bed. Just give yourself 5 minutes to, you know, say these wonderful suggestions to yourself, because your subconscious mind will pick up on those. You can also back up these with visualizations. So for example, sometimes when I'm laying in bed in the morning, I kind of say to myself, okay, what have I got going on today? You know, I want to do loads of emails, I want to, you know, do some organising, you know, whatever it is I want to do. I'll tell myself what I want, and then I will visualize it, because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between visualizing and reality. It just perceives it as something that's happened. So if you practice visualizing it, it is so much more likely it's going to happen. I do this a lot for my exercise and my healthy eating as well. So I kind of say to myself, okay, well, what am I going to have for breakfast this morning? What's a healthy option? What's a good choice for me to have? You know, and I'll visualize myself, you know, enjoying it and making it, doing my workout, you know, really feeling proud of everything I've done. It's really important as well to feel these things as well. So feel all the feelings, tell yourself all the things you want, and visualize it, because that's going to really help you for this the third half of the year, the rest of the 3/4 of the year. My words are not happening today, are they? And the last thing that I'm going to suggest to you guys today is to do something for yourself that's going to help you achieve that goal. So for some people, again, it might be doing like a vision board or a dream board on say you wanted to grow your business, for example. You may say, okay, well, I'm going to do a vision board on what I'm going to do with that money, or I'm going to buy myself a dress that's, you know, the size I want to be. So when I lose the weight, I can fit into that dress, and it's going to be a dress that I'm really excited about wearing. You know, anything like this, do something for yourself. I do this a lot with smokers. I say to them, you know, if you want to stop smoking, why not put aside that £5 or £10 you spend a week on cigarettes, and say to yourself, okay, when I get to 50 days, when I get to 100 days smoke free, I'm going to use that money to treat myself to something. I think that's a really nice way of kind of keeping yourself motivated and kind of really treating yourself, because at the end of the day, yes, we have all these goals, we're very focused, we're on our way to doing them, but unless you stop to appreciate the fact that you've achieved that goal, I think it's very unmotivating. So the thing for me is to do something for yourself, treat yourself, keep yourself motivated, keep yourself on track, and there is nothing that can stop you from doing it. So thank you all for watching this video. Let me know below if you are going to spring clean your goals and what you're going to do with the rest of the year, because I'm very excited to hear about what you're all going to be getting up to, what's worked well, what hasn't worked well, and what you're going to do going forward. So please let me know, because I'm nosy and I like to keep in touch. So please let me know, and I look forward to reading all your comments, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!